You called, he answered. The Doorman is at your service, one of the latest heroes to walk the cursed Apple's streets. Doorman is particularly interesting, with a revolutionary kit that sports portal technology. Before we get into that though, let's have a look at his character and theme. There's many details on Doorman's model. Specifically, when looking at him from behind as well, you can see the classic set of keys that are always worked into a vast array of his animations and even abilities. When reloading, he'll open up a portal doorway to reload the gun, and you can see how it looks up close and personal. Quite a particularly interesting design. Valve went ahead and called this Service with a Smile, and the name of the gun really lives up to the theming behind it, sporting a unique recoil pattern in the shape of a key and some very cool animations. Animations are quite good for Doorman overall, as you can see with his dash and run cycle. It feels true to the character, having that sporty yet straight to it zip in his step. Even when sliding, he loves these harsh angles and will really straighten out his body in various different ways. I think although Doorman's animations aren't as themed in the same way as Paige, they're still very unique and interesting, especially the ability animations. You can see the heavy melee here, and also the light melee. They look particularly interesting and do tie into the character, giving you an idea of him being a service worker, whilst also an omnipotent being that controls portals. Even the jump animations are quite sleek, and everything about Doorman feels very on theme. Valve have done a great job with all of the new characters being able to step foot into the universe and really feel up to snuff, with a quality level of art pass and animation pass that makes them all feel living and breathing in the New York streets. I love the way Doorman looks, but I love his kit even more. The minute I got my hands on Doorman, I realised just how fun the utility and different abilities that Valve have given him really are. So let's put those under the microscope and start off with Call Bell. An AoE-based projectile that can be an incredibly fun bit of kit to use. Doorman's Call Bell will be cast out in a line in front of you and deal damage as it goes through enemies. You can detonate it early by shooting it as well, so there's multiple opportunities to use this in a fun way alongside every other element of Doorman's kit, including casting it through doors to get the drop on opponents. Alongside that, it's got a great visual design and audio design, with some cool sound effects alongside the ding sound when you detonate it early. I love Call Bell and think it can be quite a fun grenade to use, and certainly opens opportunities for some unique ways to engage fights based on if you want to use it as an early detonation AoE or something you want to set up with use of your doorways. Talking of which, let's have a look at Doorman's 2. The doorways themselves give him so much map control and usability that I think will probably take some time for a lot of the community to be able to master. These will allow you to run through them, giving you a barrier. You can get the drop on enemies by putting them in unique locations, or even shoot through them or cast abilities through them, meaning that his kit and other heroes on his team can make full use of the doorways to completely scramble the battlefield and catch people off guard. Quite a bit of tricky technology there. Moving on from that, you've got Luggage Cart as well. In tandem, if you use this with the doorways, you could drag people from one part of the map to the other, as it will physically force them in a straight line path as it connects onto them, stunning them if it hits a wall at any point in its journey. You can see a simple demo here of how you could use it with doorways to roll an enemy in towards a wall, or just snatch them from a fight, taking a 6v6 into a 5v6 advantage. Doorman certainly excels at being a bit of a trickster on the New York streets. It's all about timing and smart placement. That is also true for his ultimate. The ultimate ability that Doorman has is particularly unique, zoning an enemy out of a fight and banishing them to the Baroness. However, it's more of a pocket dimension representation of the Baroness that currently lives underneath the map, just off from mid-boss, under where the Baroness can be found in the overworld. This is how it looks when you cast the ultimate on an enemy, and this is where they end up, down in the depths below in a little dimension that Doorman controls, hearing some very unique voice lines and being forced to try and check out on time so that they don't take too much spirit damage and come back to the fight incredibly weak with no sustain so that you can finish them off. Of Of course, using this is going to be all about timing and target prioritization, knowing who you want to banish from a fight so that by the time they return, you've softened up enough of the enemies, or in turn could take down that tank as well. You can see here how it looks physically rendered underneath the map. Doorman's dimension is quite interesting, and all of the animations and gameplay elements that come with it are relatively unique. Valve have gone ahead and completely recreated Portal technology inside of Source 2, even giving so many knockbacks and themes to Portal itself, with similar use of sound effects, colours, and overall moments that will consistently remind you of your favourite Valve game if you're a big fan of Portal. Doorman is a top-notch character, and I think again, this is another one that people are going to be playing for many years to come as a staple pick once his kit is truly understood. That's it for Doorman's quick spotlight. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be back with all the new heroes very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Dead Air.